Well, hello everybody. I am Code Indigo, and we are back with Speedrun Ragnarok 2024 here supporting Take This. And I am with SushiKishi, and he is going to be running some Earthbound for us. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How's everybody doing tonight? And I know we have the Japanese restream audience with us tonight. Ohayou gozaimasu. I know it's probably about 10:30 in the morning there. So good morning to everybody there. Everybody watching on the home channel as well. I believe all of our names have been closed out. I have checked the list. So we are running with a party of Jeff and Ness, who is Jeff, and then also Jeff, and our pet dog Jeff. But if you'd like to continue to support Take This and have an incentive to donate towards, there is still a guest character bid where we're going to have one party slot open posted at the end of the run. So if you'd like to, say, bring along Bubble Monkey or our pet dog or one of the Flying Men or even Picky and Buzz, you can always donate to Take This and put it towards that character bid war and choose who our final party member is going to be, as well as a slew of donation incentives for tomorrow's runs as well. But I'm ready to get started if you are, because we got a nice long cutscene at the start of this run.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, so I'll just hop on in 3, 2, 1, and go. Yes, this
right,
is going to be. Go ahead.
We are in the year 20 Jeff D. Jeff.
Exactly.
Okay, so just want to let everybody know, as SushiKishi mentioned, Ohayou gozaimasu, Hisaishiburi desu ne, to everybody out there in the Japan channel. But we are currently starting Earthbound, and if you want to donate, make sure you in our chat type !donate for the donation link. That'll find us, get in for some incentives and other wonderful things going on. So I am taking a look here at, we have, I believe, some open incentives. Gonna double check those really quick, but while that's going on, why don't you tell us a little bit about this run, Sushi?
Well, first things first is I'm gonna hit this reset button on the console because this is Pokey percent, which means the goal of the game is to clear the game with Pokey in the party, and Pokey's actually going to be taking Ness's place. So the first thing we have to do is get Ness out of the party. This is much like Pajama Percent, which is a much more mainline category for Earthbound. It's a speedrun category that lets you use multiple save games. So I'm going to use these other two save files on my cart to do various glitches. And the first thing we'll see is this big long stairs glitch here in 3. I'm down here in the little stairwell here. I'm going to wait that visual cue. What I want to do is get a game over right there on that bottom step, just as we're stepping onto the staircase. And then I hit the wrong button, so we get to do it again. It was so cool the first time. I wanted to show it off twice, of course. That was a little bit of a miscue. We're going to learn that the final boss in this speedrun is not, I guess, at the end of the game. It is that game over menu that is asking you whether or not I want to continue. Because you cannot mash B there. If you mash B, you're going to restart you're going to continue your game. And if you mash A, you're going to continue your game. You have to mash B and then mash A. You have to be very careful not to overmash either button. But I'm trying to get a stairs glitch on this bottom step here one more time. Watch my step because it was a little too fast. Now I'm a little too slow. I knew it. I knew as soon as I hit the wrong button, we were going to have to see this the third time. Oy, 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 oy. You get it right the first time, and then you lose it to the text box. But the stairs in the rollover, I guess I do have a little bit extra time to talk about now. I usually get into it a little bit later. Stairs in Earthbound are very complicated. There's just a lot going on in the code behind the scenes. Get to this bottom step. And one of the things it's trying to do, I might have been too fast, and I'm gonna be really upset in a second if I am. One of the things it's going to do when you step onto a staircase is it's going to put you on the exact pixel that the game believes the bottom step is on. Now, normally, that's only going to move you... Yeah, it's a long loading screen. So let's see it one more time. I can't believe I'm so much trouble with the first one. One of the things it's trying to do is it's trying to move you to the exact pixel that the bottom step is on. And normally that's just going to move you a couple of pixels over. But when we reload our initial save file, it'll actually move you all the way from Ness's bedroom to that bottom step. So the goal is to get to rip Ness basically right as soon as he hops out of bed, whisk him away to the staircase in 3. There we go. Very careful here. No. Yes, okay. Jeez Louise. That one looked good. If that doesn't do it. Call it night and go home. No, that should do it though. This is what I want.
Okay, well, good job.
Now we've got ourselves out to the
go.
staircase. And when we check this locked door, Ness is gone. He's gonna leave the main party, the active party now. And as soon as he fades out from the screen, that's gonna be it, because we're gonna get whisked off to Jeff's prologue. Wait, we're gonna get whisked off to Ness's prologue. The text box, Ness's prologue, who's actually Jeff. We're going to be playing through Ness's prologue now, as he's going to escape from Winters here. We're gonna meet Tony for a little bit too. So for at least through our escape through snow, we're gonna be playing mostly vanilla. Well, we're gonna be playing entirely vanilla. I'm just not gonna be picking up all of the cookies that are available, but we do have to pick up some items before the game will let us go.
Okay. So while we get into this, I do want to mention that we do have those incentives for naming characters in the Secret of Varonis, our first up run for tomorrow morning. Plenty of options there. So make sure you get those in. There do appear to be some donations already for some ones here, so make sure you get those in. And we are also looking to reach the Jonathan Colton Showcase, the Dijon Sing-Along. That has a $100 donation amount, and that is for tomorrow evening, during some of the ones that I'm going to be hosting as well, actually. So I look forward to that. But yeah, get those donations in. We've got plenty of time to do that, and we do hope that we get going.
All right, now that we've got our Holmes hat and more importantly our pop gun, it will actually let us leave Snowwood. Ooh, I got a dodge that butterfly. There we go. But the game won't actually let you leave until you at least pick up the pop gun. It doesn't want you to be completely unarmed. Save the game here, and I'm going to take advantage of that second save file. This trip out of bounds, or this trip to stairs, is not going to be nearly as long. In fact, we've only got 1 hit point on this save file. So as soon as I step outside, I'm going to book it right for this staircase. But instead of getting a game over on the top step or the bottom step, you saw I got a game over right in the middle of the staircase. And as long as I don't walk off of that staircase, the game still thinks I'm standing on stairs. And if you're standing on stairs in Earthbound, something else you can do is to walk through walls. So when we load back into our speedrun file, we'll be able to go right through the drugstore, wall here. Let's for the audio cue. That's where I'm gonna turn. I didn't mean to hit L. Stop. There you go. And somewhere northeast of here, way out in the void, should be the Onett drugstore. There we go. Everyone's gonna let's get over here to Onett. We have a couple of things to pick up while we're here. The trash burger there is extremely important, as is this town map. The town map's actually going to let us go out of bounds to a lot of different places, more than we would be able to otherwise. The Soundstone would even let us go literally anywhere we want to in the game, just by going out of bounds and walking out into the void. As long as you can memorize the path. I need to move. Thank you. But the Soundstone takes a long time to get, and you have to keep Ness in the party for quite a bit longer. So it ends up being faster just using the town map. But now I've got the town map. I got the extra baseball cap, which we're going to sell for money. The money amount's going to be very, very tight in this category, and we'll get more into that as we get closer to the first boss fight. Right now, though, all I want to do is take my town map and go back to Winters. So I'm hoping to get a little bit of a teleport here from our two Skaterpunk friends. Not missing. Stop doing that too. There we go. All right. Now we got our town map in our pocket. Got a little bit of spending cash, especially if I sell this Mr. Baseball cap. Skip sandwich, and I'll save my game again. So now that we've successfully escaped Ness's bedroom and successfully escaped Onett, we actually have to go right on back. We do have to do at least some of the start of the game, but we didn't want Ness to have to do it. We want to get rid of Ness as soon as we can. So now Jeff has to go and take Ness's place in the prophecy and get our story kickstarted here. But this is how the town map's going to be important, because if you listen to the music, and I don't want to mess with the audio balance, but you'll hear that the music keeps changing, like I'm changing areas, which is actually what's happening. There's really no such thing as the void in Earthbound. The entire game exists on one big map. So there's the meteorite crashing, which means I know we're back in Ness's house. The reason why it looks like there's a void in every room that you go into, I mean, even if you're like in an outdoor area, if you're clever enough, you can get yourself to the edges of that map, and it looks like there's a void there too. But there's really not. If you ever actually go off the edge of the map in Earthbound, the game's just gonna crash on you. But what's really out there are all the other, rooms and caves and so on and so forth in the game. But the game can only load in so many. Here. All right, fine. The game can only load in so many graphics at once, so it's only loading in the tile sets for the room that you're in. Here's Pop Gun, which is where the town map comes into play. So next time I go out of bounds, you'll see when you open and close the town map, the game's going to check your position. Say, okay, you're in Ness's bedroom. We need to load in this graphic set. But it can also use it to, go to a different drugstore or leave from the drugstore and go to like the mall or something like that. As long as it's on the town map, I can just walk out of bounds and go straight there. Let's take this fight. I do need a little bit of EXP. This is not necessarily how I want to get it. But I have way more offensive power than I meant to have here. So it tends to be a little bit faster than just trying to despawn everything by running away. Alright, Pokey. Whatever you say, buddy. And if you're really familiar with the game, you're probably wondering, wait a minute. This is our first trip up to the hill to see the meteorite. There's not supposed to be any spawns here, and you're absolutely correct. Normally, random enemy spawns are turned off for this part of the game. But when we watched a cutscene where we were introduced to Ness and left Snowwood, it actually turned that switch back on, and that's why the enemies are out and about, even though it's the very, very beginning of the game. It's supposed to be nice and safe for us. See, and he's gone. We are going to see very brief glimpses of Jeff A, as you make our way through the game, but never going to be an active party member again. Hi, Pokey. This is our neighbor, Pokey Prime. Pokey Prime's the good Pokey. I believe we've routed out... No, we will run into Evil Pokey very briefly later on in the run. I almost forgot. We will run into Evil Pokey. But then Evil Pokey, of course, will always show up in the final boss fight as well. But Pokey Prime is a good guy. He's going to join... he's going to join our party here and stick with us until the very bitter end of the run. This phone call is very important because this phone call is from Jeff's dad. Now we've gotten this phone call. We can save the game at any telephone that we find in the world of Earthbound. So we have plenty of save options. It's also, well, technically speaking, the last cutscene where Ness changed out of his pajamas is what makes it an invalid pajama percent run. But strictly speaking, being able to save anywhere is the big difference between a run like this and pajama percent. For pajama percent, you have very, very limited options because you never get your dad's phone number, so you can't call him to save the game. You're only able to save the game in locations where, say, in this case, Ness would call his professor at Snowwood. You can save there in pajama percent, but not in most other places. There we go. Our next trip out of bounds is going to send us way out into the desert, which is not on the town map. So we're going to have to find another way to get out there. What I'm going to listen for is this music. Go down a little bit further. If I open and close the map here, it opens up the house in Onett that you can actually buy. You can buy that house if you want, and that shares the same tile set with this house here in the Dusty Dunes Desert. So we're able to skip Onett, Antusen, and Threed, and all the way to the desert. And we got some items to pick up here. First, I'm gonna take a nap. One of Ness's abilities is that when you spend a night somewhere, he can work overnight to work on fixing different broken items and different tools you'll find. I'm gonna take a save here. It's different items you'll find along the way in at least in a vanilla playthrough. I hit B at the wrong time. Try it one more time. There we go. And one of the things that Ness can fix is the broken spray can that he starts with, and he fixes it into a defense spray. But again, my money, I'm on a very tight budget, so that's purely for the extra cash. It just sells for more money if it's fixed than if it's broken. Some guts pill, about 250 bucks. unfortunately, we don't have time for the slots today. Gotta keep it moving. There is, however, a present with $1,000. Right there in the middle of the desert. Not even too far from the road. There we go. And that blinky blinky means we do have Sunstroke on our main speedrun file now, which is what I needed. So we got pretty good RNG on getting that early. I'm gonna heal up just in case. And usually the mole will miss, but the mole happens to hit. I do want to be at max hit points, or as close to it as I can be. And that's really what I wanted to get the bulk of my EXP for the start of the run. The good news is I have a lot more hit points to work with now. And for combat purposes, you'll notice when you take damage in combat in this game, that you don't take it all at once. If you watch my hit point meter on the bottom, it'll tick down through my hit points one by one by one by one by one. And we can take advantage of that in combat to survive attacks we otherwise wouldn't be able to. The unfortunate thing is I do have to wait for... No, not now. No, that's right. We're taking an extra trip to Sakuraba, so let me go ahead and save. So I'm going to do a little bit more shopping before we move on to our first boss fight. But you can take advantage of what's called the rolling hit point mechanic to survive otherwise fatal damage. But since it's going to tick all the way down to 0, the starting hit point for that, your hit point ticking off is really important. So starting off at 43 is a lot safer than starting off at 30. Even though I'll be taking like 500 damage around, and I'm not going to survive it either way, the extra 13 hit points are absolutely crucial as far as mashing through enough text to still get to my turn and get through the boss fight. Skip Sandwich is going to let us run a little bit faster for this first trip out of bounds. Yes, we're keeping Pokey. I'm sorry I didn't see the question, but we're keeping Pokey. And this is definitely the longest out-of-bounds trip, and we're going to be in the void for a little bit here. So if you'd like to pitch a charity or anything else, this will be a good time to do it.
Well, yeah, sure. We are still getting incentives for the Secret of Veronis and Rock Band 3 incentives for tomorrow. But for right now, we look forward to getting more donations in, so go ahead and type in !donate. Remember, it all goes to Take This, a charity that will be traveling to various conventions, such as the PAX events, to set up the AFK rooms, professionally staffed, safe, and accepting spaces, available for anyone who needs a place to regain their calm. And I know at some conventions I've definitely needed that. Thank you for the bits, TSS 420.
If I could menu better today, we'd be doing so much better. There we go.
Yes, menuing the universal boss.
Yeah, let me do a count real quick. I've got bread roll, 2, 3 healing items that I need. I believe it's 6. Let me double check my notes here. Yep, 6 heals. So I need, that'll be 4. I meant to buy a boiled egg, but that extra money, extra D-bucks shouldn't hurt me too much. 5 and 6. Oh, and I'm gonna need 1 more because I'm actually, no, we should be good. I should be able to get back to the, we'll see. I'm gonna risk it. Yeah, because I know I'm at critical hit points now, so I'm at 8. Very quick here. 6. 4. Yeah, I'm actually gonna have to heal. Great. Should be the last one that I need. Ooh, I'm full in inventory. I do have to heal then. Yeah, and unfortunately, I should have probably healed like halfway down my trip. We'll have to wait for critical hit points again, so we'll have to wait for some of these hit points to melt off before we can move on. But the reason why the money is so tough, the budget's so tight in this route, is we don't have the ATM card. Jeff took that with him when he left the party. So unfortunately, I'm only gonna get access to half of the money that I earned through defeating bosses in this run, which would be a huge chunk of money. We're just leaving half of that off the table. And that's why I had to make some extra trips for things like the Mr. Baseball cap, and thinking of things like the hamburger early and things like that are really important, because I think if I shop correctly and I heal properly, I end up with like $2 left going into the first boss fight, so you're just not left with a ton of extra room. There are some items I can go out of my way if like I need actually healing item or something. I can get a little bit more in the budget early on in the run. But otherwise, I basically have exactly what I need for the run and not $1 more. Next one should let us... Yeah, that's what I was looking for. We're at critical hit points. Save and reset. Now we're gonna do the same trick we did at the starter run, and hopefully, just like at the starter run, I will get it on the first try and then just not throw it away in the text box. That'd be great. But we're gonna actually add something on top of it at the end. But first things first, let's go over here. Our second favorite staircase in the world, and get this game over. Boom, boom. That might have been too fast. Sometimes I say that and it works out okay. I can tell because it took too long to load. I can tell a little bit too fast on that one. You gotta love a speedrun trick where if you do it too fast, you just lose all the time you would have saved. You gotta do the trick over. Good news is this is the last time I have to do this trick. Knock on wood. But when I get it, we won't have to do it anymore. That was way too fast. Yeah, I was way too fast. So we're gonna add one more trick on top of that, because we got our stairs glitch to get us to teleport to that staircase, but now I need to get out of bounds from this staircase. I'm gonna load in my speedrun file here, tag the ladder, head back, and when that box appears right on the top step, it's going to interrupt, once again, all of the spaghetti code, if you will, that goes into a staircase. It's gonna get interrupted at just the right moment, to where I get the you can walk through walls ability of walking on stairs, but you're not actually locked into the railway of being on stairs. So I'm just using audio cues. Next time I hear hotel music, I think it is. Yeah, now I want to turn. And then on the Woodle Woodles. I'm gonna turn on those. Same thing here. If we keep heading north and I don't touch this town map button, the staircase there in Threed shares a tile set with the Stonehenge base, the Starman base. Right on it, look at that. And again, I'm at 23 hit points. I want to full heal. I don't want to start this countdown at 23, that's for sure. We're finally onto our first boss fight. It's going to be Starman Deluxe. I need to throw... What am I doing? I've skipped an entire split and a half. I've skipped an entire split and a half. I don't actually think I can win this fight. I cannot. I skipped to the second boss fight. Oh my god! It's like I've never played this game before. I got a 140.
Well, you hide it very well.
I got like a 140 something practicing earlier today, and now it's like I can't play it. Never done this before. I skipped the whole split and a half. I gotta go shopping first. Oh my goodness, I did. I just skipped I skipped going to the deep darkness and going shopping, and we're right to the first boss fight with no ammo. Oh my goodness. I'll tell you what might have thrown me off. Oh, let me get into the game first. Because I had to do this trick anyway. What threw me off is, in my PB run, we don't go to Scaraba to pick up the Crystal Charm. But if I don't do that, the first boss fight has maybe 75-80% fail rate. So for live events, I go and do the extra shopping trip. And then I just forgot where I was going. Gotta go this way first.
Yes, you clearly missed all of the blatantly obvious signs in the black void.
Yeah. And the thing is, even if I won that boss fight, what I realized is even if I won the boss fight, I'm soft locked there. I can't leave the base because I have to go where I'm going. To set a respawn point for the exit mouse. I couldn't even leave, even if I won that boss fight. You get absolutely nothing out of it. I need to... Probably should go... You can feel... Oh my gosh, I can feel the sprite lag. You can definitely see it. Because those presents are not friendly. I mean, if I get into a fight here, it's going to be very unfortunate. So I want to hop on the submarine and get out of town.
It went from a black void to a blue void.
Yeah. Okay. I'm good on health, so I don't need to spend a night. I do need to come over here and get some shopping done, though. There we go. Sell. Weirdest house I've never been. I feel like there's still something else I need to get rid of. It's not gonna get me there. I feel like I'm... Oh no! See, I'm 11 bucks. See, I would have had $2. And then I sold the back, so I'm trying to figure out what I had missed. No, $2 I would have had left over. I gotta wait for critical hit points one more time. But walking through the deep water here will help me get there. I've actually got one more short little trip. Woo, 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 woo. And this out-of-bound trip's gonna let us skip all of the deep darkness, that entire place with the foreboding music. We don't want to be there. Even in a vanilla playthrough, this place is really scary. And I don't run glitchless Earthbound, or like more of like a full game category, but I imagine it's not a fun place to be, even in a glitchless run, where you would come here with say a full party and more than level 9 under your belt. Because you can just see when you're walking in deep water, you're walking very, very slowly. So what you're really going to be doing, I assume, is spamming teleport to let you move very quickly through the muck. But the monsters there will gang up on you very quickly, and they're not easy to run away from. So we're just going to skip it. I don't got time for any of that. The reason why it looks the way it does is, again, it's called Deep Darkness for a reason. There's really... You can't really see anything here unless you have a special item called the Hawkeye. And we're skipping that too. You spend a good chunk of this game staring into the void, getting to where we're going. But you do get a nice medley of the music, because you need something to help guide you when you're out in the abyss. And usually you're just listening to audio cues to try and guesstimate about where you are. Crit. Let me check my hit points real quick.
I believe you were at 9.
Yeah, that should work. Yep, okay. Just want to double check. I won't have to do this one anymore than I got to. Ooh. Right now we are where I thought we were like 5 minutes ago. See, I tried to skip all of that, which would be really, really nice. But I would have had I didn't have any ammunition for the first boss fight. Like, there's being underleveled, and then there's being underleveled and completely unequipped. Oh. Yes, okay. Back in we go. Oh, yep. I was looking for literally the item called heal for a second. Boiled eggs. There's all sorts of interesting food in this game. I think that's what really drew me to the game most as a kid, is the player's guide. Is if you haven't seen it, it's themed as like it's a travel guide. Hold on, let me look at my auto key here. There we go. I think I'll talk over my audio cue, but we should be back in line here. This player's guide is set like it's a travel guide for all the different cities and places you go to. So it gives you, like, population numbers, all the sights to see in all the different places, menus for all the different restaurants and things like that. It's really, really interesting. And the game just has so many different fun and interesting items. Like it's more than just like potion, stronger potion, high potion, you know, stuff like that. It's a lot of different foods and things like that. They really make the game interesting to me. All right, let's try this again with this multi-bottle rocket. See, so that's definitely fatal damage. But because I had 43 hit points and not 30, we got to our turn before we got to a game over. And with 0 hit points, it gives me the 1 freebie because I won the draw there, or I won the tie there, if you will. We are through our first boss fight. Getting a huge level up. But if I were level 1 with 30 hit points, since Pokey's in the party and Pokey also takes damage from Starstorm, it's too much text to mash through, and you'll never get there. You'll never mash fast enough to get through all the text to get to your turn.
Going back to discussing the guide, I don't remember seeing, please visit scenic absolute nothingness.
No, not so much. But I also loved the, it had the, those clay models for all the different enemies. And it's a totally different, like, render than you get in, like, the instruction manual or even in the game. Let me through. Thank you. Oh, there's Tony. Bye, Tony. A little bit closer, I guess. Oh my gosh. There we go. It was further away than I thought it was. So now I can go and pick up an exit mouse and get out of here. And what the exit mouse will do is lead you to the exit. It'll lead you to the exit of, it says, like, you know, whatever dungeon or cave you happen to be in. But that's not quite accurate. Because what it actually will do is lead you to the last entrance that you've walked into. And we didn't walk into this place normally. The last place we walked into normally is all the way back here at Tenda Village. So the exit mask is going to take me right back here, which is perfect, because the next boss fight is right outside the door here. Now, if this were Pajama Percent, or if this were any other playthrough, I could get everybody, all my party members, all at once by walking the Summers and eating the magic cake and going through the dream sequence there, if you will. We don't have that option because that would add Ness back to the party, and we can't do that. So in order to get Jeff C, this will be added to the party. Gotta make an extra trip out here, go backwards through deep darkness long enough to get to a boss fight here where Jeff C would rejoin the party after leaving you. I think after the pyramid. We're skipping a lot. We're talking about a lot of things we're going to get nowhere near to seeing in the speedrun. But long story short, I need to do this boss fight to add a party member to the group. And again, I have tons of hit points, but I want to be at max. And that's just because we're gonna get some out of heals. That's okay though. Knock on wood, 2 big bottle rockets will win it. If not, 3 should definitely do it. But I need to get through this first turn first off. I need to get through my first 2 turns, hopefully. That's fine. That's okay. I'm not taking damage, so that's all fine. Enough. Nope, 1 more turn. Alright, so now I'm taking critical damage. Now I've got to mash all the way to get to my big bottle rocket and get to my turn. That should do it. There we go. And see if I had 16 fewer hit points. Well, no, I guess it would have been it wasn't quite that close. It's 16 at the end, but if I hadn't I had like maybe 30 hit points less, that probably doesn't work out for me the way that it just did. But now we have Jeff C in the party. So we're done just walking places. Now we can teleport. Also, very, very quickly, I need to heal this nausea off of Ness, or Ness is going to... This is going to turn into an angel here in a second if I don't get into this menu. Let's take care of that. Alright. I can't really see too well, so I'm going to walk it out a little bit here. Oh, and look at that. See, there are still enemies here I have to deal with, but that's the next stop on our journey, is to make these random enemy encounters go away. I'm gonna have to find a new route here, because I don't have enough room to teleport here with them right there on top of me. Oh, you're not gonna give me any room to work with, are y'all? There we go. Okay. Ooh, y'all are... Oh, okay. That's mean. You just stop doing whatever that is, that's for sure. It's okay. That's okay. Because we get to keep our party member, we get to keep our progress. What I do lose in this scenario is half of the money I had in hand. So I lost $6. We'll find $6 somewhere in the run. We can go over here to Res. Yeah, so the random enemy spawns, those have got to go. I don't want to deal with any more of those. So let's make that our next thing on our to-do list. Gonna do a little bit of shopping. Back here. And we get to make our first trip to the Cash Dispenser Man. The all-important Cash Dispenser Man. Because I've defeated 2 bosses now, so I need the cash I can get. Boom. So this is the Cash Dispenser Man. I can't use the ATMs, as I said earlier, so I have to talk to this guy. 33708. And he will withdraw money from Jeff's bank account for me, but he charges a 100% fee to do so. So if I want to withdraw $100, I have to pay $200. $100 for me, $100 for him. 50-50 each way. That's for our next boss fight. I missed selling an item. Oh yeah, the Death Ray. It's got the big E next to it. That's how I missed it. That's gonna be for the Kraken. This last one will be for Ness's Nightmare. This is a big shopping trip. This is for my next 3 boss fights, if you will. Boom, 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 boom. Teleport around the Mondo Mole. It's not the Mondo Mole. Mondo Mole's a different boss. And we're gonna save in the drugstore. Save. Reset. So I've actually got two things to do on this out of bounds trip. One of which is we're gonna grab the book of Overcoming Shyness to advance to the next part of the story, and then the other is we need to get the Franklin badge and get Paula added to the party. I'm sorry, to get Jeff B added to the party. Looking for is drugstore here in Happy Village. We're gonna skip by it for just a second because right up here is the bakery. If I line up at that register and head to the left, should be able to. I've gone a little too far. Let's line back up. Yeah, I know this book's called Overcoming Shyness. There it is, the Book of Overcoming Shyness. You can grab through the void, reach into the void, into the Onet library, and grab the Overcoming Shyness book off the shelf. Don't even check it out or anything. And right back to the Happy Village drugstore. And this is probably the most important part of the run, is getting this little sequence correct. Nope. Don't want to run to the crows. But when I get inside the cabin here, we're gonna get a cutscene with Jeff B. He's gonna give us the Franklin badge. And when this happens, Evil Pokey's gonna be outside waiting to ambush me when we leave. The game really, really wants you to get that cutscene with Evil Pokey outside and get into a fight. So what it does is it turns off damage over time effects. I don't have any, so I can't show it off, but it also turns off random enemy spawns. So there's no way for me to get into like a fight or something and game over and skip getting this fight with Evil Pokey, unless you happen to have teleport. We're just gonna teleport away through the cutscene trigger. And we've escaped. We've left Evil Pokey there. I also hit the wrong teleport button, but that's okay. We've left Evil Pokey standing there. And since we didn't watch that cutscene, the on-off switch that controls random enemy spawns never gets turned back on. So at this point, no matter where I go in the world of Earthbound, there are no random enemy spawns, and I'm putting it that way specifically because there are certain enemies that will just always be there. They're not random spawns, they're force spawns. Those will still be there. But any enemies that will randomly appear are just not going to appear. Boom, 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 boom. Fuzzy Pickles! That's the one photo we're getting in this run. Don't usually leave this one up for a donation incentive because it's always nice to give a shout out to the charity. So if you'd like to talk about the charity for a little bit, I do just have kind of a lonely little walk through the cave here. So this will be a good time. So.
Sure. Well, as long as we're talking about Take This provides education on mental illness so that friends, family members, and coworkers can be better allies to those who are suffering, much like Jeff, Ness, Jeff, and Pokey. So if you would like to learn more about Jeff, keep watching. But if you'd like to learn more about Take This, please visit takethis.org.
It's very
And
important.
of course, we are.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Yeah, we are still looking for donations for those incentives for tomorrow. Lots of music showcase stuff going on, especially later in the day. We're going to be doing a hidden song showcase for Citus A. That is still going. We're also earlier in the day, we're doing The Secret of Veronis. We're doing naming incentives for those characters. So go ahead and get those in. And we also have a video game bonus block for Beatmania 2DX Infinitus. And I am actually really looking forward to a lot of the music games tomorrow because that's kind of how I got started with doing some online streaming, because I kept getting, everything turned off due to the fact that it's all copyrighted music. So we're going to be careful about that, but we have a lot of good incentives still there. So get your donations in. They do go to Take This, and we're currently at $1,578.21. So please, every little bit helps.
Got a little bit of menu to do before the boss, but we picked up a resurrection item that we're going to definitely need at the end of the game. I did hit equip on that, right? Oh, but not on this one. There we go. And we also picked up the rabbit's foot, which is going to give Ness a gigantic speed boost and make the multi-bottle rockets deal much more damage, much more consistently. It also let us go earlier in combat. Do you have any big bottle rockets left? I do, but I want to hold on to it. You know what? Let me just hold on. Might have an optional fight coming up ahead. I want that for. But with it down, then yeah, we'll have to throw the big bottle rocket. And we're coming up on just a couple minutes left for the guest character donation. If anybody wanted to donate to that. This is actually the last boss fight before it, but I do have a little bit of running around to do in the Lost Underworld first. So just a couple of minutes left to get donations in for that. Then I would need to know who we're going to pick up.
I will look into that really quick.
You have a nice long cutscene here first, though. No, I'm Ness. But it's Ness who's talking, but Ness is Chef. This wall is very confusing. So this is the only sanctuary we're going to pick up on this category. For pajama percent, I think it's also the same thing. There used to be a couple more, but we only pick up the one melody for these heavy skip categories. Now we're in the Lost Underworld, which is my favorite little section of the run. We're not going to be here for very long, but you can see immediately why this is my favorite little part of the run. So in Lost Underworld, you're meant to be fighting dinosaurs, literal dinosaur-sized, dinosaurs. So it gives everybody a little itty bitty sprite to show the scale, the difference of size between you and them. Pokey is not meant to be here, so Pokey does not have a tiny sprite, which means Pokey Prime here is literally dinosaur-sized. Which would be great if we could use him in combat and he were a dinosaur. That'd be fantastic. Because I imagine he'd swing for a ton of damage. Wow.
If he felt like it.
Yeah, unfortunately, he scripted to waste his turn and then waste his turn with slightly different text, so we don't actually get anything out of him. That's the item I need. We are ready to go to Magic, and so I gotta save a bit. So when I save up here, that's probably the best time to lock it down for that incentive. Make sure I got items. I think I got, yeah.
It looks like there have not been any bids on that.
That's fine, because you know what we're gonna do then? We're gonna backtrack real quick. We're gonna grab Bubble Monkey. Just because we're here already. Nah, everybody loves Bubble Monkey. And when Paula does join the party later, oh yeah, also we skipped getting Paula early. I think I mentioned we were getting her, and then I forgot to circle back on. No, we just left without Jeffy B. She's not going to join the party until we're ready to fight Gygas. So she's going to be level 1 for that fight, which I'm really looking forward to. Where am I going? To the right. To the right. I know where I'm going. Here we go. But our next stop is going to be Magic Hand. Save. Reset. And if you're not familiar with this game, or if you played before, you maybe just need a reminder. Magic Hand's a part of the game where you're meant to only have one party member. You're meant to only have Jeff. You're meant to only have Ness in your party for this entire sequence. And you don't get a whole lot of forewarning that it's coming. So especially if it's your first playthrough and you don't know you need to equip Ness properly, and you don't get the right items on him, this could be a very, very difficult part of your first playthrough. And it's also a scary part of the speedrun. When I was running Pajama Percent before we learned how to turn the enemy spawns off for Magic Hand, I'd have to keep a sticky note of, all right, if I run into this enemy, use this ability, and then cross your fingers and hope you can run away, or, you're just gonna game over. It's pretty much the option is runaway button works or you lose. But we've turned random enemy spawns off. They're still turned off, so it's a much safer place to be than usual. And we also have, we could bring in our full party, but since we're on a speed run and I don't have time to pick everybody up, we're just going to come in with Ness and Jeff here. But that's still a lot more firepower than we'd normally be able to bring. Mainly in the fact that Ness can bring... Oh my goodness! I didn't know that was going to happen. Okay. So, I don't know why. I don't know. Other than, I guess his sprite is loaded in. Because of where... I didn't think that was gonna happen. I love this game sometimes. So, the Bubble Monkey sprite's been overwritten with Pajama Ness sprite, who's now following the party using Bubble Monkey's So he's just stopping and looking around every now and then. I wasn't ready for that.
That quality programming you can only get from Hal and Ape.
I don't actually know what's gonna happen when we change areas. It might revert back. Maybe not. No. Oh, this is fantastic. All right, let's throw a multi-ball rocket at this first Kraken. Now there are 2 more Krakens, and like I said, random enemy spawns are off, but the Krakens are always going to be here. They're forced spawns. I'd like to dodge both of them. I do have enough ammo on hand where if I run into one of them, I'll feel confident. If I end up having to fight both of them, I'm gonna be much less confident on the second one. So I'm gonna try to just stay away from them. I have a feeling you're gonna chase me right at the wrong moment. Run. All right, that's okay. Not just a second. We'll fight the third one. They had a pretty good blockade set up for me there. Oh, I don't have any more big bottle rockets. Okay. I need that last multi-bottle rocket. Yeah, I really don't have anything. Okay. We'll have to wing it a little bit. Oh. All right, we'll make another trip to Magic Camp. I just don't think I got a good damage roll on that one.
Yeah, a little bit of hard luck there.
File. I think. Don't know if there was anything I could have done about that. And I know I can't afford an extra big multi-bottle rocket. So we'll just have to go out of our way to try and dodge them both this time. Oh, the other thing I could do though is split up these super bombs. Because poor Ness had nothing to do on his first turn, and I gotta move this Horn of Life over anyway, so let's do that. There we go. If I don't waste the turn, I should be okay. If that happens again. There it is. And I'm trying to hold on to, I guess I could have used this Dragonite, but I am trying to hold on to this for the end of the run for the Gygas fight.
I remember playing this back in 95, 96, and having so much trouble with Magicant just because of the massive difficulty spike.
Yeah,
I don't blame you for the issues you're having here right now. Yeah.
This game has not it has not one, but 2 different point of no return segments where it just plops you somewhere very, very difficult and says, I hope you were ready for this, because this is all, whatever you've got, that's what you get. There's no going back. It does it here, and it does it right before the Gygas fight. Come here. Come here. And go away. Nope, definitely don't want you to be right there. Come here. Come here. Yeah, there we go. Stay over here. You can stay right there. I think we can work around that, yeah.
Please don't notice us, Senpai Kraken.
Easy peasy. Yeah, and this is what makes Magic Ant super easy in this category, is you're not meant to have multi-bottle rocket, one-hit KO. And now we've got everybody's favorite part of RPG speedruns. We've got about 5 minutes of me mashing this button through text. We've got a lot of leveling up to do, and then a lot of plot to talk about, and then a lot of leveling up to do, and then some more plot to talk about, and then a little more plot to talk about. So this will be a fantastic time to talk about Take This, or any incentives that are coming up for tomorrow.
Well, actually, let's go ahead and talk about Take This. They're a mental health nonprofit. Their main mission is to inform the gaming community about mental health issues, provide education on different disorders and prevention techniques, and reduce the overall stigma around mental illness. And it's funny that we're talking about mental illness during this particular portion of this game, because this drove me pretty nutty back in the day. Nonetheless, right now, we are looking at donation incentives for the Secret of Varonis. We have, it looks like, 4 naming incentives available. Both of those have one option right now. They've already been tagged, but there's still time, because that's first thing in the morning. We're also naming the main character in Legend of Mana, the HD remaster there. We are about maybe 2/5 of the way through the Hidden Song Showcase for Citus Alpha. That's at $44.44. We need 100 to hit that. If we want Dijon to sing along to Rock Band 3 stuff, that's going to be $100 across all the donations that we are putting towards that. And we're waiting on that as well. We have had no donations towards that. And if we want to do the video game bonus block for Beatmania 2DX Infinitus, that is a cool 150 that is currently sitting at a not as cool 0. Nonetheless, if you want to help us out, you can hit !donate in the chat right now. And you can also go ahead and type in takethis.org into a different tab. Please keep watching. But in a different tab, takethis.org, you can get more information on that charity. Hey, text is still going on.
Yep. So at this part
love
of
text.
the story, Jeff A will expand the psychic powers of his mind and gain 200,000 EXP. And he was level 1 because we got rid of him about 3 minutes into the run. So we had to mash through 35 levels of level up text. That's also not the end of the cutscene. There is going to be quite a I'll even wait here on the text box to give everybody a second to look away if they need to, because this segment does have lots of flashing imagery. So if you're photo sensitive, you may want to look away for about 30 seconds here. I'm gonna get started. 3, 2, 1, go. Right now, it's really important here that after we get this cutscene that will teleport us to Saturn Valley, that I go and unlock the teleport to Saturn Valley. Because we're gonna go through the cutscene. Excuse me, but that's not actually how you unlock the teleport. You have to actually walk into Saturn Valley through the front door, if you will, in order to be able to teleport here. So if I don't walk over here and walk through this cave, I'm gonna lose about 3.5, maybe 4 minutes. That's it. That's all I gotta do. Walk through the cave door. Walk back on through. And now I've unlocked the ability to teleport here. You'll also might have noticed the little itty bitty bug that had spawned in the cave. And yes, since we watched the cutscene at the end of Magic Hint, we have re-enabled random enemy spawns. So those are something we'll have to worry about from now through the end of the run. There's no way for us to turn them back off again. At least not with any kind of speed, any kind of haste. Got one more shopping trip I gotta take. Double check. I have both of my res items, right? I didn't end up having to use one. Life noodles. Where's my Horn of Life? Yes, Life noodles, Horn of Life. Let's do a little bit of inventory management before I forget. We gotta move this C pendant over to Jeff. I'm gonna move the Franklin badge over to Jeff. Gear up, Jeff. Horn of Life. Alright, good. We split up our reses. We're good. Let's go do some shopping. That's another thing too. So now we actually have 3 guest characters. We have Pokey, we have Bubble Monkey, we have a teddy bear. You notice the teddy bear's not spawned in, but you'll also notice that Bubble Monkey has stopped acting like Bubble Monkey. He's not looking around, stopping every few steps to look around. And that's because the game limits you to 2 guest characters. And teddy bears will count. So what it's actually done is it has combined, for lack of a better term, the last 2 guest characters. And how it does that varies wildly depending on which 2 characters you are, sometimes what area you're in, the order you add them in. It's not always predictable what it's going to do, at least not with any pattern I've been able to figure out. But right now we have Bubble Monkey who's moving around like Teddy Bear, which is not quite as fun as Bubble Monkey moving around as Bubble Monkey. But when I sell the Teddy Bear, he should revert to normal. Next inventory. Gotta span, there we go. So I want to bring all of the fireworks to this fight against Gaius, and I want to make sure I move that one multi-bottle rocket over. To bring 3 multi-bottle rockets. Should tell you exactly what I think about Jeff's damage rolls in the Gaius fight. Because you really only need to bring 2. Let me do a quick count here. Move this over. 2 multi-bottle rockets. Move the Dragonite over. This Dragonite over. I saw something new to move over. Super Bomb could move over. Let's count. Got 4 bombs, 5 bombs, 2 bags. So that's 7 damage items on Jeff. That's fine. Franklin badge, C pendant. That's good. 1 healing item. I need the rest of that inventory to be full with healing items. Where'd my Lucky Jerky go? Here we go. And I've got cash, so let's head to Winters. And pick up some picnic baskets. Oh, goodness. Like I said, you don't really know how it's going to combine your extra 2 guest characters. And now we've got 2 bubble monkeys. We have 1 bubble monkey that's Teddy Bear. We have 1 bubble monkey who is Paula. Need to buy. That's the button I'm looking for. If I have enough, I'm going to replace that bread roll too. Yeah, I've got the cash for it. Alright, we are done shopping, right? Let me take one last inventory check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. For 5 healing items. Multi-bottle rockets, rabbit's foot, crystal charm, seeping the tongue with Franken badge. Alright, we're good to go. We just have to get the guy, guess.
It's funny though. I think I know why Paula was the bubble monkey there for a little bit.
Why is that?
Winters probably still thinks that, well, obviously Winters still thinks that the game is in Ness's prologue. So the only character who would be in the second slot at that point would be the bubble monkey. So it hard-coded whoever is in slot 2 to be the bubble monkey.
It could be. The game does would be counting Paula as the first party member though. Even though Ness isn't there, it's just gonna bump everybody else up 1.
Okay, yeah, I was also gonna say we twisted this thing's transistors back and forth though,
yeah.
So
So like I said, we've turned enemy spawns back on, unfortunately. So there are just a million aliens and UFOs and robots, this, that, and the other, between me and this meteorite that's in Onet that started this whole story off. And I have to get there. Unfortunately, now that we've gotten rid of the teddy bear, we should have a normal party from here on out. You'll notice that while we're in the middle of the stairs glitch, that actually didn't run into any enemies, but you don't actually have any hitbox for the enemies to run into. So if I were to come over here, I got nothing to worry about. So that's going to keep us safe for this section. I got the meteorite that I need, and now we're ready to move on towards the end of the game. As long as I don't bonk. There we go. So first we gotta pop in this phase distorter. It's going to send us back in time to the right time and place for us to actually fight Gygas, as long as we're ready. Because we're going to be asked multiple times here to make sure we're ready to go. Oh, for a second I thought I was going to leave Bubble Monkey behind, but he does hop on at the end. But yeah, it takes Pokey with you, so it should take both guest characters with you. Oh, because he stopped to look around. that he is determined to stop and look at every little thing, I guess. And this is a part of where we find out we're in the right place. This is where we're meant to go and fight Gygas, but we haven't gone back in time far enough. So we need to use this phase of Sorter 3 that we're going to learn about in this cutscene to send us even further back in the past. But there's a little bit of a catch. with the Phases Sorter 3. It can send us exactly when we need to go, but it can't transport living things, can't transport people back that far. So what we're going to do, with absolutely no further discussion, this is just something we've decided we're going to do, and we're going to do it, is to put our souls inside the bodies of robots in what is, and I'll say again, a very flash heavy cutscene. So you may want to look away for, this one's probably about a minute and a half. I'll give everybody something to look away before I hit the button. But yeah, no big deal. The noise you're going to hear is extracting souls from our 4 main party members, as well as Pokey and Bubble Monkey and Jeff and Ness. We're going to put them into our robot forms that we're going to carry with us back to the Gygas fight.
Ah, yes, the disconcerting sound of science.
Jeff, Ness, my son.
Oh. I'll stop.
All right, our last save point in the game. See, there's at least one head of hair there, so not everybody's turned into a robot. Sure, Bubble Monkey's still in there too, somewhere, safe and sound. And
Pokey Prime cannot be contained in a robotic shell.
Exactly. This will hopefully be our last stairs glitch of the run. Inventory set should be good to go. We are still down a party member. Which is really unfortunate. We can kind of wing it with all the other fights. This Gygas fight, being down a party member, is really tough. Because I know action economy is a big fancy word for RPGs, but it really is a big deal here. I cannot heal and deal damage very effectively at the same time, being down a party member. And on top of that, Paula, or Jeff, is level 1. She has 30 hit points. So she's going to be a complete non-factor for the first third of the fight. So I've really got 2 party members against Gygas and Evil Pokey. Pokey Prime, Pokey on our side, will not do anything in the fight. Bubble Monkey, as cute as he is, will randomly attack to deal a little bit of damage. But if Bubble Monkey attacks Gygas, the damage will be reflected to us. So Bubble Monkey is only halfway on our team. So we've got a lot of things working against us here. So we're going to go back to the tried and true method of 1 damage dealer. And you spam heal on that damage dealer and try to keep 1 person upright. We got lucky on the RNG. That's the weakest version of Gygas attack. So everybody's going to survive. Even Jeff survived. I can't believe that. I'll take that. That's not the best damage roll I could have gotten. So I know it's going to be a 3-turn fight here at the start. I'll have Jeff defend again because Jeff's not supposed to be here anymore. Multi-bottle rocket on Pokey. And we will again heal Ness. It's a lousy damage roll too. The third one should get us through. And we got lucky again. That was the weaker version of the attack again. So we're getting some friendly RNG for incoming damage. I'd like some better outgoing damage RNG if I could get it. That would be nice. And we're gonna throw a res on Jeff. What are these damage rolls? Those are miserable damage rolls. All right, what can I do here? I need to pick. If I can fish this out, this is how we're gonna get it. We're gonna pick Jeff up. Oh no, now I'm. Ooh! I got lucky and just dodged the attack. Okay. Okay. Well, that was just that was the nah. You can't win this fight. Go try again. Yeah, I'm going to target the party member that was not targetable at the start of the round because they were unconscious. Okay. All right, guys. I see you. I see you, buddy. That's fine. That's cool. I'm gonna be like that. So I think Jeff did what, like 800, 600, 400 damage on those multi-bottle rockets, and I'm looking for like 12 would be nice. 12 is on, is in the table. That's in range. 1200. I think 1400 technically is possible. 4 digits would be nice.
Just as long as it's not, diminishing returns, that would be helpful.
Y'all saw me walk right into that orb. That, I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know that was live. I didn't know you could even run into that during the stairs glitch. I thought I'd just walk right through it. Well, good to know. If I wanted to get back in bounds there for any reason and go fight the entire robot army to get to Gygas. But yes, this is also, I think we talked about it earlier, where Magic Hand has kind of a point of no return and you're stuck there until you clear it. This is obviously the other one, and I'm skipping over most of it, and look at the enemy spawns you're dealing with, and that's just one little section, and they respawn if you leave and come back. Like, this part of the game is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I have no idea how I ever beat this game as a kid, how I had enough patience to deal with this. It's also why I can't be the only one, but I distinctly remember most, if not all of my playthroughs of this game, mostly being done with the red text of you have a party member who's knocked out, so you get the red text and the red text box borders. At least 3/4 of my playthroughs are like that. It's just impossible to keep everybody upright in this game.
All right, let's try this again. Take 2.
Alright, so that's the stronger version attack. Everybody should be okay, but we are going to take quite a bit of damage. That was a nicer damage roll. And we're going to let those hit points tick up. I'm just going to sit tight here for a second. That was a decent damage roll. Is that enough for me to think we can get through this in 2 rounds? I don't know about that. That's okay. When he opens up with beta, I'm probably, oh, now I get through with 2 turns, of course. More likely than not, somebody's gonna go down on the second turn. Because like I said, I'm missing a party member that I could have healed with. So we're past phase 1 of the fight, but we're not quite out of the woods yet. I have to pick up Jeff B, left Jeff, with my res item. So I've got to get through 1 more turn, and then we'll be in the home stretch here. Don't miss menu. Don't you do it. That's fine. That's fine. Mortal damage is okay because it's not quite as mortal as you think. And we're not gonna. We're good. We're kind of at where I start to relax just a little bit. Because right now, Jeff is the only upright party member. And from phase 2 onward, Gygas only has 3 attacks. One attack is none of which you can actually see the name of in the text if you're watching the text on top. You can never discern the true form of the attack, but one of them is PK Lightning. I'm gonna go ahead and heal. PK Lightning's fine by me because we have the Franklin badge on Jeff, so we're gonna reflect all of the lightning damage back. It's not gonna do anything to us. One of the abilities is PK Flash, which has a chance to just one hit you. You just drop that. You don't even like count down to hit points. You just immediately drop to 0 and you're knocked out of the fight. But the C pendant makes us immune to that. So 2 attacks you don't have to worry about. The third attack, it's not PK freeze. I don't know exactly what you want to call it. It deals some elemental damage and it has a chance to freeze you. And we're not completely immune to that, but we will only take usually like 8 or 9 damage, but maybe up to 14 points of damage. Which is, almost half. It's not great, but we do have healing items to heal through that. And the route that I used to use before I used the route I'm using now, I would get Paula way earlier in the run. Like right after the Starman fight or the Belch fight. Very early in a run, we would go, what am I doing? We would go and get Paula out to the party. So Paula would be like level 30 for this boss fight and have PK shields and like 150 hit points and would be great. But if she doesn't have to level up 30 times, you save a ton of time hashing through text, and you save about an extra 2 or 3 minutes of having to go and save her. It's probably closer to 5 minutes to get her to add her to the party. So it's a huge time save, gigantic time save. But it also means this boss fight is just really scary from start to finish. Because if Paula was level 30, I'd consider, I'd have my feet up, kick back, relax, super chill right now, because the only thing that could stop me would be Gygas saying, I'm going to use PK freeze 25 turns in a row, and you're just going to lose, and there's nothing I can do about that. Here, he could just use it 3 turns in a row, and that might be enough to knock me out. So it's really, really scary. We'll be fine. We're going to be just fine. As long as I stop trying to throw bombs at Gygas, we're going to be fine. I guess I should also explain, if you haven't played Earthbound before, you're probably wondering, well, why not have your other party members up right here? The only thing that deals damage to Gygas in the third phase, the only thing that deals meaningful damage to Gygas in the last phase of the fight is with, Vanilla Paula with left Jeff using the pray command. You have to use the pray command 9 times to finish this fight. And each time you use the pray command, you get a nice short little cutscene like that of meeting a bunch of your NPCs, much of the friends you made along the way, praying for your success and cheering you on. Nobody else can really do anything meaningful here. You can deal damage to Gygas, but I forget if the game just has him heal the damage each round, or his hit points are just so high where it doesn't matter, but you're not going to get anywhere trying to deal damage here. So Paula's really the only party member that matters, which is nice. I don't have to worry about keeping everybody upright, but which is level 1, it's a little scary. This is what, 3?
I think this is 3, yes.
Yeah.
So it was the Mr. Saturn's, then the Runaway 5, now Paula's parents.
Yep.
Although going back to the first time I played this game, I don't know if we were on there long enough because I can't hear the music right now, but when the final boss music changed from the 8-bit, little doo doo doo
Yeah.
doo to the literal death metal.
Yeah.
The first time I heard that, I was not expecting it, and I about dropped my controller and other things.
Oh, the whole sequence of the final fight's so good.
Mm-hmm.
From the music to the pacing. I almost wish I don't think I would have stuck with it when I were a kid. I wouldn't have had the patience for it, but I almost wish like I didn't have the player's guide to know how to do the final fight, because I don't know how I would have ever figured it out. And it would have been such a huge reveal. And you do kind of miss that because every copy came with the player's guide, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, see, that was PK Freeze dealing damage and actually sticking to freeze on. I got 3 heals left. I will use one here. I don't want to get doubled up here. Yeah, I imagine that's how most people would find out, is they'd have no other options. They'd run out of everything and just say, all right, well, there's no other buttons for me to press. Let me try this spray command and see what happens. And then the cutscene plays and you're like, oh no, I have to do this whole fight over. I have to get here again because I've used everything up now.
Yeah, also Evil Pokey right before this segment said, I know you have telepathy or something, so go ahead, call out into the darkness, blah, blah, blah. It's like, if that had been translated just a little bit differently, kind of would have been obvious.
Rank 6 or 6, yeah, because it would be then it would be the void, and then it would be the game. All right, 3 more. I'm so nervous. I don't want to get hit again. Bubble Monkey scratching his head. That's a fair reaction, Bubble Monkey. I wouldn't know what to do here either. So all of a sudden, Jeff's mom's going to be very worried about the fate of Jeff and his friends, which is fair because Jeff is still in that locked room in 3 at the bottom of the stairs, waiting for somebody to come rescue him. And nobody's gonna come. The scene change here. I imagine everything's getting very, very fuzzy on stream right now.
Yes,
this is usually when the encoding just takes a nap. Just gives up.
Visual effect is called good luck.
One more. The time's going to be when the text for the pray command starts, but more likely than not, you'll have to wait for the call. 'Cause It's just hard to catch it. There we go. That's gonna be time. Whew. It's one more person for us to pray out to to help us charge our spirit bomb, if you will. It's a little late. We don't have time to do the full credit sequence as much as I'd love to, because I love the credit sequence, the medley of music. There is something I'd like to show off after we get out of our little cutscene here at the end. But we do have a nice little wall of text here if you'd like to, once again, tell everybody about the runs coming up for tomorrow and the incentives that might be available.
Of course, of course. So, letting everybody know that this is all for Take This, who just helped put an end to the evil Gygus. But if you want to help them put an end to mental health, stigma, and issues, you can do that by hitting !donate and following through with that. Our incentives for coming up, actually, first thing tomorrow, we're going to have the Secret of Varonis, and those are still open for all of the character names. There are 4 character names available. Everybody's got a start on there, but if you want to put some more towards that, go ahead. We are also looking to name the main character for the Legend of Mana HD remaster, and that one is still wide open right now. We have Enter the Temple of Muscle was met for Langrisser 2 HD, so thank you for that. For Citus Alpha, we have a Hidden Song Showcase. That's currently at $44.44 of $100 needed. If you want Dijon to sing along during Rock Band 3, that's $100, which is currently untouched. And we are also looking for a video game bonus block for Beatmania 2DX Infinitus. That's going to be $150 needed for that because we are currently sitting at 0 there. But we do have a lot of great stuff coming up tomorrow. We do have The Secret of Varonis, Langrisser, Citus Alpha, Rock Band 3, Beatmania. We also have some great other stuff. Legend of Mana, Spin Rhythm HD, and Neon Beats. I'm really looking forward to that. We're also going to have another interview with the Take This folks, especially regarding the AFK program. Really excited about that. And of course, Mr. Platformer will wrap up the game, wrap up the day very, very late. Sushi, you're going to be seeing that one too, I see. But yeah, no, we've got a lot of good stuff here. We are just getting started here. The end of Monday on our week, but plenty more to come.
So our spirits are all returning from far back in the past, turning back to our bodies here. Don't know how our bodies got back to this point necessarily, but that's okay. Everybody's soul returns safely. Jeff is going to use PSI farewell. Say goodbye. Boom, boom, boom. Nessir is also going to say goodbye. Then we'll get an option here of whether or not we want to walk Jeff home. Because normally what you'll do here is Jeff will walk Jeff home. You can also say no, and then Jeff will escort you. But again, Jeff not part of the party, so now we just have we have Pokey and we have Bubble Monkey, who's not usually around for the ride. Now, if I had decided to clear the first 2 towns of the game and part of 3, we could walk all the way back home and roll the credits. Now, we decided not to do that. That would have been like an extra 30 or 40 minutes to the run. So I'm going to use this letter from Tony that I've modified to get to the debug menu. I just want to get to the teleport screen here real quick. So I'm not going to go too far into it, again, because it is late. But if we could get back to Tucson, this is where we would be walking Paula back home. Walk all the way home, she'd say goodbye, and then Ness would be able to walk home and roll the credits. But with Ness not here, let's see what happens here at the end. I was gonna leave the party, and now we have Pokey and Bubble Monkey. And no party members. There's no hit points on the screen. There's nobody. Because these are both guest characters, so they don't count. And Pokey and Bubble Monkey could, again, walk home, roll the credit sequence, and nothing would happen. But you never get to, like, look at them in the menu, right? So let's see if we have any goods on us. Nope. Nothing in our inventory. We can talk to people just as normal. No problem. Not a big deal. Let's check out their equipment. No dice. No equipment or anything. Let's check out their stats. That's blank. Wow. Those are some really high stats. Oh, Monkey's got some incredible stats. Also, the game usually crashes when I check the stats screen. I was expecting the game to just completely crash there. So Bubble Monkey's really strong, because normally when you check Pokey's stats, the game will just crash. And at the very end of this long and windy road where Pokey Prime redeems himself and is on the side of justice for this run, checking Pokey Prime's stats will crash the game and bring the world to an end. But I can't. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. But no, even now it still doesn't want to crash. There, now I've got it. Now I've got it.
All right.
Yep.
Very good.
Yep.
Yeah. No,
yep.
It is.
There we go. So Pokemon finally has redeemed his normal part of the story and tried to bring, and so apparently this time successfully brings the world to an end by crashing the game. And that is all that I have to show off for Earth. Wow, it's blue.
Wow.
That's all I have to show off for Pokey%. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into the run and for donating to Thank This. Thank you for inviting me as well.
Thank you for running for us. So I want to say thank you to everybody who has been here for us today on Monday. We will see you, well, I guess technically this morning. Because it is already Tuesday here on the East Coast, but we will be back here bright and early at 8:15-ish Eastern Standard Time. So we will catch you guys then. And from everybody here at the RPG Valkyries and Speedrun Ragnarok 2024, I am Code Indigo. This has been SushiKishi. Hey, where can we find you on the internet if we want to watch more of this lovely, this gentleman crashing the game?
I am at SushiKishi on Twitch, YouTube, Blue Sky, X, pretty much everywhere. Unless you want to play chess with me, and I am at Avalanche Supplies Rollup on chess.com. If you'd like to play me and my 500 elo, but otherwise I'm at SushiKishi.
Okay, cool. Well, then that's it for us here. So, like I said, we'll see you guys bright and early in about 8 hours. So take care, take this, and take your meds if you haven't, or if you have to, and have a good night.